I'm rag-rugging. This is the back. And this is the front. And no matter where I looked, I went to all the gurus, and I ended up with lumps and bumps, and I increased and didn't increase. And finally, I made my own pattern. But I wanted to show you something, a trick with these little hooks. Like I said already, I'm probably going to post. See, when I grew up, we crocheted and sat across from each other, so I'm used to that. I'm used to looking across and crocheting. And I know you can't see my hands, but hopefully you can. So I'm on the right side now. This is the wrong side. And these will all be pulled through. And then, of course, I have my magic slip knot, and I'll tie that down real good, and I'll tat. I'm going to tat in little spots like there. I'll tat that down. Now, these were made from sheets. I ripped all my own sheets and took the strings off. I tried cutting them. It did not work. So I'm going to show you something about these, because I've heard this so many times now. Now, I typically will use, and if you want me to share the pattern, let me know. I typically use that big of a needle. This is a steel that my grandmother had. This is worthless. Worthless. I love my mother's needles. And I just put them in a cup. I haven't had time to make myself a basket. Okay. So, everybody crochets different, and everybody holds the strand different, and I think this is part of the problem. You have to learn to use this part of your thumb, this part of your finger to keep that creased. And the best way that I've noticed they've come out is when it's got a little crease in there. Well, you don't want to stand there with an iron all day, do you? I don't. I've done enough of that in my life. So I just do a little fold here, and I'm going every third stitch. And when you're doing rag rugs, if that's pulled up, it's already occupied. So that's 1, 2. Now watch. See, this is a big needle. You're going to get your finger and poke it through the hole. I know, I should have a camera and do this. So you're going to yarn over and go through. Push. Don't ever yank. You're going to put your fingers, my thumb is here, and just pop it through. Just like that. Then you're scared because of rag rugging. You're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't pull tight. Yes, you can. Then you're going to pull through 2, and this is where you use your hand. Go over this lump. As you can see, it's bigger, and it'll stretch these out, and it'll also stretch the ones you're working on. And then, of course, yarn over and go through 2 again. We say yo, yo. Then yarn over. Here's my finger. See, it just immediately goes in that hole. Guide it. And then what you're going to do is put your thumb in between those 2 stitches and pull. Then I get my hand and I push over the stitch with my hand so my fingers don't get sore. And I help it with my finger. Push, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And you can use this as an edging if you'd like. So it's 2 double crochets in every third chain, and then we want to do a chain 1. And look at how pretty that is. I mean, I have not seen a pattern on YouTube for this. Trust me, I've looked. Okay. I prefer to rip my sheets. I cut them and my hands hurt so bad I could barely stand myself. Okay. Let's try it again. I don't like to hold it like this. I like to kind of fold it, and I can feel it when it's in my hand because it's real smooth. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and do not be fooled by rag rugging. You'll lose a stitch in here in no time. So 1, 2, and the third one, yarn over. Here's my finger. Pop it through. Tight, tight, tight. Pull. Push my thumb down. Pop it through. Push it over that hard plastic piece, yarn over, turn your needle, go through 2. Now watch, see that big gap? Push it with your hand, your finger, the bone of your finger, and yarn over and go through 2. Let me do that really quick. I don't know why, I'm just an avid crocheter, but I've crocheted for over 35 years. But this is the funny thing. I see people getting their fingers and going over the hook, and it just, I know they say they're not crocheters, so God love them, but it just seems kind of weird to me. And then you're going to chain 1. So if you have them in increments of 3, then you're going to land perfect, or even in doubles, because when I did my slip stitch, I always throw an extra stitch in there. And that way I can play around in there if I need to. So I'm only going to here. So let me rub around. So isn't that perfect? Look at 1, 2, and 3. If you ever get to one of those funky stitches where you're like, oh my God, there's only 2. There's not. Each chain is comprised of 3. Get my finger, yarn over, go through, pull up, push with your hand. That gives you, and you can kind of stretch your hand out doing that too. I know, you got your own crochet habit. Then push, yarn over, and keep that finger between those 2 stitches. You have to kind of see it that way. And then yarn over and go through 2. Now, you're still going to do your chain 1. And in that chain 1, you're going to still do your chain 1. Okay. Rug-rugging is not a speedy thing, I'll be honest with you. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I'm going to slip stitch once. I'm on my, actually I think I'm on my 9th round. It doesn't look pretty, but it looks pretty. And if you ever want to check your rag rug, lay it flat. And they'll say if it's bowling, then it's doing one thing. If it flips out, it's doing, no. I want to explain to you something. I learned from a 90-year-old woman. And then I learned from women before that. With rag rugging, it's not like crochet. You know, we have a set pattern and a set way of doing it. And the pattern is to where the pattern is. And there's that many, hold on. Every time you lay your rag rug down, and mine is in a fan stitch right now, so it's doing really well, but every time you see it and something's pulling up like this, or going under, or going in between, and I've noticed with rag rigging they use a lot of single crochets. I use half double, double trebles, trebles. I use every stitch. And this is the secret. Just like the sequence I was doing on this one, and then I'll do 2 slip stitches and I'll get back to here, and then I'm going to do probably a set of 4s again to do my fan stitch. Okay, I'm not saying this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in the world, but I'll tell you this, a lot nicer than the ones I've seen online. And no, not, I won't say online, I'll say on YouTube. When your hands don't know how to work with this big of a needle, you'll try this way, you'll just hold it like that. Use this part of your hand to push those stitches over. That way you can wrap, and at night your hands won't hurt. So the most important thing with this particular one is when you say you got your middle section down and it's going really nicely and you're adding your little chain in there. When you see it buckling a little bit, just add a chain, go into your next hole, follow your pattern. Now, let's just say there's a whole side buckling. When you come around again, do a chain 1 in between. So it's single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet. Just do chain up and then go single, and you'll see it, it'll lay flat. I've got 5 rugs sitting here. They're all flat. You're allowed to put a chain without counting it. It actually makes it more beautiful. So I'm going to get to writing this pattern down. People just adore it. It's actually the kids' sheets. And I'll show you the right side. Like I said, a very older woman. It seems really ruffly to you, but it's not. It lays completely flat on the ground. And this is a beautiful edge to use for your, what you're working on. And what you're working on is 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip 2, 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip 2. If you want to skip 3, you can. I've done that too. And the edge comes out so beautiful. So I hope this video helped. I'm probably going to start adding because I just finished my beautiful shawl. I'm going to show you. I'm still having trouble getting used to people not looking at me when they're talking to me. So I made a beautiful shawl. You can also call it a scarf. Oh gosh, you can't see the colors that great over there. It's with that landscapes. It was on sale. And it's huge. It's huge. So here's my beautiful shawl. I just love it. It's for a girlfriend I made it for. And I'm probably going to do a video on that too. But that is it. And watch out when you're cutting, you're ripping your sheets. And if you want to cut them and crease them, that's fine. You can do that. I don't have enough time in the day to do it because I have my business. But it's like, here's my beautiful shawl that I love. I probably should get on there. But what I can do is tilt my camera different so you can see me, but see what I'm doing. Anyway, have a great night. I hope that helped. Don't forget to use your hand. Use your finger to hold that hole open when you go in with that big needle, and you won't have that squeaky sound either. Bye, you guys. I won't say happy hooking. I heard somebody say that the other day. It's like, don't say that. Happy hooking. No. Happy crocheting, and always have a cup of hot tea when you crochet. And a sister. Or mother, or grandma, or friends, or aunts.